Here we are the night before. I'm going to smoke salmon on the Camp Chef Woodwind. What I have here is 3 pounds of fresh wild-caught Canadian Kita salmon. And I'm going to be using a dry brine. What I have here is basically 4 parts of brown sugar to 1 part salt. It's the non-iodine salt. What I have here is 6 cups brown sugar, 1.5 cups salt, 1.5 tablespoons of black pepper. It's the night before. I'm going to brine this salmon for probably 8 to 10 hours. And then I'll rinse it thoroughly, and I'm going to smoke it at 150 degrees, maybe 2.5 hours. Then that last half hour I'll show you 3 different ways I'm going to finish the salmon. Well, here you go. I got the salmon cut into more manageable fillets. What I'm going to go ahead and do is first put down some cure, some dry brine. I'm going to be generous with it. I don't want to have to worry about rotating them during that 8 to 10 hours. I'm going to do this fast. But I did feel a few bones in it while I was cutting it. I'm not going to worry too much about the bones because I'll be able to pull them out as it's smoking or once it's done. That'll help me tell when it is done. I got some disposable, not really disposable, but some Tupperware containers here that I'm going to use that work great for this. You just want to make sure you don't use a metal container. Glass, this plastic Tupperware stuff is what you want to use. Within probably about 3 hours this will turn into a liquid as it draws out the moisture out of the fish. I'm going to get away with putting them all just in one container here. I just end up using that whole bag of brown sugar. You want to make sure you get all the exposed flesh covered. Then when it cures, when you rinse it, you'll notice a different texture in the fish. It'll be a lot stiffer. Of course, because it draws out the moisture right out of the fish. There we go. Looks like I got it all covered. Plenty of it, obviously. Don't give me any crap about it, but brown sugar and the salt was pretty cheap. Here we go. Let's put it in the fridge. 8 to 10 hours later, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Alright, here the salmon is after 10 hours in the dry brine. After about 8 hours, I went ahead and dug it out of the excessive dry brine that I had and made sure it was all distributed nice. Rearranged the fish a little bit. You can see how much firmer the fish is now. Pretty much supports itself. I'm going to go ahead and get these cut into, I'm going to cut them in half, more serving size, and then I'm going to rinse them thoroughly, and we'll get ahead and put on the racks. Well, after I went ahead and cut it into serving size portions, I decided to cure it another hour and a half. So we're looking at 11.5 hours this has been in the brine, the dry cure. Now it's definitely a lot firmer, and those edges look like they're definitely more cured. So I'm going to go ahead and get it rinsed this time. We'll go ahead and get it laid out on my racks.
On the rack, first I'll go ahead and spray this with a quick release spray. I do have it lined here with newspaper, so help prevent the salmon from sticking. We're going to give them plenty of space. I'll also pat them dry with a paper towel to help speed up the drying. You know what? This rack is plenty big. I think I can get it all into one top rack. There we go. We'll just pat them dry with a paper towel. I don't want to rub the paper towel on them. I want to make, otherwise I might embed some of the paper towel into the salmon. You can see some of the bones poking through now with the cure on it. Okay, let's just leave this sit like this for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe. Let that pellicule form, which will help lock in the moisture and absorb smoke.
Well, here the salmon is after sitting on the counter for an hour and 45 minutes. You can see the pellicule starting to form. It's got a nice shiny surface, a little bit of tackiness to it. I do have the Camp Chef Woodwind turned on to low smoke right now. So while we let this rest here another 10-15 minutes, we'll let that Camp Chef come up to temp. I'm using alder and apple pellets. Alright, here we are, 2 hours and 14 minutes. You can see the nice pellicule has formed. So I got the Camp Chef set on low smoke, so it's running at right around 150, 159. An awesome jerky rack. There we go. It's a little cooler out today than I thought it was going to be. It's like 65 degrees out, chances of rain, so probably take a little longer, probably about 3 hours, 3.5 maybe. We are 2 hours and 13 minutes on the smoked salmon. I haven't even looked at it at all. I haven't opened the lid at all. Does that look good, huh? See how that bone did pull right out. I think we'll let it go another half hour. But I talked earlier about finishing the salmon 3 different ways. What I have here is some honey that I thinned down and heated up just a little bit. I'm going to brush that on half the salmon, and on half of that half, I'm going to sprinkle on the mango chipotle rub by Camp Chef, and then the other half is going to be fresh cracked pepper. Then with the remaining salmon, I'm going to go ahead and brush with this Tin Roof blackberry jalapeno jam. I also thinned down with a little bit of water and heated it up also. 3 hours and 45 minutes. The #1 salmon fan has showed up. Jazzy. Let's go ahead and take a look. I haven't opened it up since I went ahead and glazed them. That's the Camp Chef Mango Chipotle. Here is the Blackberry Jalapeno. And then fresh cracked black pepper. Four and a half hours. Some good looking fish. We're going to go ahead and shut it off and enjoy. Alright, here the salmon is after it's rested probably about 6-7 minutes. It did not stick at all to the rack. Looking forward to it, looks really good. Click on the links below to start your outdoor cooking.